Welcome back to Noise Avocation Podcast. I'm Ryan here with Jeremy,
Yo.
And we have Jacob from All Hell with us today. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks
Doing
for
great.
taking the time to jump on and talk to us for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said before we started, I found this through like emails from PR agents and stuff that send us stuff, and I usually write all the bands down. And I just kind of go through a list, check them out, and you guys stood out. And I showed Jeremy. We were sitting back here talking one day, and I was like, "Dude, listen to these guys!" And you never know what to expect just by looking at a band photo. So
Right.
I turned it on, and my first impression, I was like, "Damn, they sound like Skeleton Witch." Like vocally,
exactly.
you've got that.
It's funny that you said that.
Your vocals for the band and guitar as well. So. You definitely have that rasp that the singer for that band has.
Cool. That's definitely a compliment. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that Ryan mentioned that, and then when we were like looking into this, that he did a solo spot on this record.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah. Nate from Skeleton Witch is an old friend of ours, so
Yeah, that's cool.
we had him come play a couple solos on the record. Yeah.
Did you just happen to reach out to him, and you're like, "Hey, man, jump on here"?
Oh, I've known him for about 18, almost 20 years at this point.
Right on,
So
right on.
yeah.
Guys
Yeah.
go way back. That's cool.
Yeah, I seen them 8 years ago. I think they were playing with Amon Amarth and a couple other bands, and awesome show. They were a fun band to see live, but I haven't heard any of like their latest stuff really. That kind of fell off a little bit. Not because it started to get bad or anything. You just find a bunch of other music and sometimes forget about a band.
2 years ago was maybe the last
I think
Skeleton Witch album.
something like that. Yeah.
They've been quiet for a little while, but they're still a thing as far as I know. So
Yeah, they're a great band though. But that was my first impression, just vocally. But then like the rest of the music, you get into the album. There's a lot of like, there's some melodies in there, there's some groove in there, and there's a lot to it. Like I listened to it twice now. Saved it in my Apple Music, and we'll probably end up buying the record from you guys as well. And so you guys have been a band for, if I read this correctly, it was like 2013, 2012, somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So about 12 years now.
Awesome. How did you guys all link up?
So originally the band started with me and the original drummer. We started writing a couple songs, and then we found our bassist Eric, who still plays bass in the band now. And it's been, so me and Eric, the bassist, have been in the band since the start pretty much, and we've had a couple different drummers, but yeah.
Always trying to find drummers, man.
Yeah.
It's always drums or bass.
It's always the drummers.
Because everybody wants to be the singer, the guitar player.
Yeah.
And like I remember looking on like the Metal Encyclopedia, and the drummer that you guys have now, like his list of bands that he's been in. I was reading them off, and I was like, God damn, this guy gets around. Like he's
busy.
Yeah. I think most of them looked like they were ex projects, not like current
I
projects.
think he's playing in 3 or 4 projects now. I would say that All Hell is his main focus, but yeah.
Do
He's a busy boy.
you yourself have any side projects or anything, or is All Hell your main focus?
All Hell is the main focus. I play in a kind of a post-punk goth rock band with the other 2 guys that are in All Hell, actually. It's more of a side thing, and then I'm working on some other stuff that I can't really talk about too much now, but yeah.
Right.
All Hell's the main focus, because I write all the material, the lyrics and music for All Hell, so it's like been a big part of my life for the past 12 or 13 years.
I went back and I actually did this on accident and clicked on the Grave Alchemist record when I went to listen to this record.
Yeah.
And that really reminded me like some Dark Throne era, even in like the lyrics and stuff. So that kind of hooked me because I'm like a fan of that, and I like it's like you're just to the point lyrics. You're not trying to be like super fancy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see that, like, I mean, kind of depends which way you want to go, but it's nice. It's nice to hear just straight like black metal lyrics, you know, like on shit,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I try to, like, lyrically, I try to do stuff where it's like, you can grasp it. It makes sense on the surface level, and then if you really want to nerd out about it and like read into it and
You
stuff,
can,
it can be as deep as you want it to be. But
yeah,
it's
for
still like,
sure.
it's not like you listen to it and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess with the word, it's accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
accessible, like like black and roll. You know, it makes your head go like this, and you know what you're saying. Could you know?
There's been a lot of times where I've read lyrics to black metal albums that I'm like,
And
this
then it
is
ruins it.
cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it totally ruins it.
Yeah.
Or it makes it better. Like, I don't know. Like, it goes
Yeah.
both ways. Like, it's almost like they're being self-deprecating a little, which is
Yeah.
like, especially with like,
Sometimes it can be so stupid that it's good.
yeah, like, and I like some of the latest Dark Throne records where he's like figure skating on the cover.
Oh my god, yeah,
like,
yeah. That
just
shit's
to
hilarious.
poke fun at like how like serious people get about it. Like, it's
Yeah.
still music and it's still supposed to be fun at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't have to be all like church burnings and sacrifices and stuff. And sure, that
Right.
shit's great to we all love it lyrically, and
We all love a church
we
burning.
we all love a good church burning. But it's cool to see him poke fun at that. But I actually didn't go read the lyrics for Sunsetter, and now that I'm gonna go listen again, I'll check it out and see what all is in there.
Cool. Yeah, it's a concept album, so there's definitely a story that goes throughout, but it's also, like you said, approachable from like a surface level. I think they're enjoyable.
Yeah, like I think the opening track, that Exiled, is it Exiled into Nod? Exiled to Nod? Into
Yeah,
Nod?
Exiled into Nod.
Yeah, that fucking, yeah, like it's a good opener, man. It really rips into the fucking record. And then, like I
Thanks.
said, that lyrics, it's like, um, everybody should know what Nod is and Exile is, and everybody can kind of relate to that on some sort of level, even if, you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
We wanted.
it's a good song, dude.
Thank you. On that song, we specifically on this record wanted to start things off like immediately.
Yeah, it's like,
There's
you
no,
do.
because our last few records we've kind of done either like an instrumental type intro or like a build up into something, but I was like, let's change it up this time and just like jump straight into it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, that way you know what you're getting right when you get into. Because sometimes people turn on a record, they might throw on the first track, and
Yeah.
not everybody's patient enough to like let things build all the time.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
So I could see
That's-
like
I-
how the straight kick through the door could be beneficial.
I know a lot of like people like you guys or people that review albums or get a lot of albums sent to them. I've even heard him say, like, whenever I get something, I just skip to the second track because so many times like the first track is going to be some kind of like build up or whatever.
Like I guess like that's just kind of the blueprint for the black metal, I guess, though, because I was listening to some older albums of
Yeah.
other bands and that they have the intro that's all like
Yeah.
whatever
Like
gritty or
Bathory,
whatever.
Bathory always
Bathory,
has an
right?
intro track.
I was listening to
Yeah.
Summon. They're from Lansing,
Mhm.
and we're from Michigan, you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then they have like the middle track, the intermission, and then the outro, right? So
Yeah.
in that you skip to the second track and it's boom, boom right to your face,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So definitely have a point there. It's cool.
See, I would like. I don't know. I have heard also people say that they skip to the second track immediately, and that's not even just in metal. I've heard that in like all music
Yeah,
across
yeah.
the board.
I
Yeah.
don't do that.
I would. I've never done that. Like,
Yeah.
I like letting things build up. I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for a good like fucking 13-minute song.
Yeah.
Like, not always, but more often than not, like Opeth, like their old stuff, like
Right.
letting those songs build is like
that's
what the
part of the
music was supposed to
experience.
be
Yeah.
like. It's part of how they were written.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of black metal tracks out there like that as well. There's a lot that are a minute and a half, just like straight rippers, but then there's other ones that they really take a minute to get going. And if you
Yeah.
don't let all those layers unfold, you might be missing something.
Right. For sure.
So you said Sunsetter is a concept record.
Yeah.
What is the concept for the record?
So it's part vampiric death cult, part biblical, epic, apocalyptic, epic, whatever.
Okay.
So it starts the first half of the record is kind of set in the ancient past. You have like Cain and Lilith as the first vampires, and then shit goes sideways and God's like, I got to destroy the world with a flood and kill all these vampires. And so that happens. So that's like the middle of the album. We have that like semi-instrumental track. It's about the flood. And then the second half is set like a couple thousand years later, more like in the modern times or slightly in the future, where they're back and there's like this cult that's trying to bring back Lilith and Cain and like the ancient evil and shit. So
okay. Sweet.
Yeah, track 10's called The Ancients Rise.
Yeah.
Just
that kind of puts some of the
puts
song
it in
titles into perspective.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna listen to it with like a whole different view, you know?
Yeah.
Now, did you guys self-record this? Did you do it in a studio or?
We did it in Hidden Audio, which is a studio in Savannah, Georgia, that's run by our friend Scary Adams he plays guitar in the band Black Tusk, if you know them at all.
Yep.
But yeah, we recorded this album and then we did an EP a couple years ago that we also did with him, and you know, we really like working with him. It's a great experience and easy to work with, and he has a good understanding of what we're trying to do and what our band should sound like, and knows when to push us to do better. You know, it's good to have someone in the studio you can have someone that's totally complacent and it's just like, oh, that's good, it's good, like, no, you don't need to do another take. Or you can have someone that's like a total control freak, but he's like the right balance of what you want. Like he knows us and knows like when to push, what to get out of us. So I like working with him a lot.
Yeah, it's good to have a producer that has a subjective ear instead of just agreeing with everything, and like somebody that actually likes the music. Because you said you guys did an EP together as well, but like if you get somebody that you're like, well, I paid this guy, he's got a job to do, he's just gonna try to kick us in and out of here as quick as possible. You don't always get the record that you wanted or had in mind come out. So it's good to have that person that's into it.
Yeah, for sure. And then he recorded the record and mixed the record, and then I mastered it this time around. So.
Okay. Was this your first time doing mastering, or had you done it previously for?
How was that?
I mean, just like for fun, for like little things that I'd worked on, I'd done before, but yeah, it was my first time like mastering an All Hell record. I think it went pretty well, but I have to give the credit to our producer because it's a pretty transparent master. He did such a good job mixing that I didn't want to override a lot of the work that we had accomplished with on the mixing process by mastering and completely changing things. So it's a pretty transparent master. There were a couple tweaks that we made, but yeah,
because when we talked to some other artists that like some can master their own stuff and some can't, to where like I don't think I could. I'd be like, somebody else has to do it. So I just always wonder, like, we've always had, you're just like, oh my god, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have done this, or
we've had other people master in the past, and like we haven't had a problem with their decisions or anything. Like we're happy with the sound of the records we've done. We've had Joel Grind from Toxic Holocaust mastered a couple. Jack Butcher, who's worked with Aura Noir and Dark Throne, has mastered stuff for us in the past. I think it's just this time around, like we had a very particular vision, and after 5 records, I felt confident enough that I could be objective about that process. So maybe I'll do the next one, maybe I won't, but we'll see.
This one sounds good to us, so that's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, I always listen for that stuff, and it's good that like the engineering originally was good enough to keep it kind of how
Right.
it was, instead of you having to go in there and basically lay out a whole new record, because sometimes it'll just ruin it.
Yeah.
Now, after you finished, have you gone back and listened to it since then?
Yeah, once or twice.
Okay.
I
That's
haven't
always
listened.
a curiosity, because I'm like, well, what if you go back and you're like, fuck, I missed something right there.
No, I've listened to it enough times to catch things if there were something like that. But yeah, it's always weird to go back and listen to your stuff. I'll probably sit down and listen to everything soon. I still haven't listened to all of the physical media that we have. Like I've checked out like the test stuff or whatever, but I need to sit down and listen to the vinyl, listen to the cassette, and see how everything sounds. But I'm happy with it at this point.
That's great. Are you gonna tour on it then?
Yeah, we're working on some dates, late January, early February, I think. Probably a shorter run, and then hopefully some more stuff in the spring.
That's cool.
Yeah, we have a couple one-offs left this year. We did 2 release shows, one in our hometown and then one in Atlanta, where our label is based. We have a show coming up in Richmond in a couple weeks, and we have one more hometown show this year.
You guys pretty much stick to the southeast, or?
I mean, we play more in the southeast for sure, but we've been all up the East Coast and over to Texas, up to Chicago, more Midwest stuff. We haven't played the West Coast really, so I'd like to do that hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I think this next run is going to be kind of East Coast or southeast one leg, and then I think Midwest-ish the second leg of it. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Have you done any shows in Michigan?
We haven't played in Michigan yet. No.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, I want to.
We'll probably see you. We'll see you pass through Detroit or Grand Rapids probably at some point. Those are usually the two main touring areas here.
How far are those from you guys?
About 4 hours, both of them.
Oh, wow.
One's southeast and one's southwest.
Gotcha.
But we're not opposed to making a drive. Like Jeremy does it a lot more than I do recently, but I've driven to many of shows in Detroit and Grand Rapids. So if we see you guys come up and we can make it, we'll be there.
Cool.
The artwork for the record, I wanted to ask about that. Did you have, since you seem to have had a hand in most things, did you happen to do that, or did you guys sublet that, or what?
Yeah, I did the cover art this time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'd done the cover art for the previous EP, but the 2 albums before this I didn't do. We had a friend handle. But this one I knew that I wanted to kind of push myself to do it. And I know we've had not great experiences in the past with some artists that we've worked with that just couldn't get what we were going for, and none of that's seen the light of day or anything. Like, we're happy with all the stuff that we've released, but yeah, I just took it into my own hands to do it this time. It's a digital painting, but I also do like physical paintings and stuff. This was just for simplicity's sake, but it was still a super painstaking process with a lot of it's exactly the same process I would have gone through if I would have been doing a 2D physical painting. So yeah,
just a lot less paper on the floor.
No, it looks gnarly though, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of like it almost looks like, I'm looking at it on my phone right now, but the body itself kind of looks like it would be like Jesus or something, with being crucified, like hanging over a gloomy city.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Thank you.
I'm not much of an artist myself, but I've done, like, for the store, I've done some designs, and I've done, like, a few different things throughout here, but digital stuff, like, I can't really draw. For some reason, I could when I was young, and then I never kept up on it, and I just somewhere sucked. Like, it's one of those, if you don't practice, it's not a natural talent like some people think. Like, you really got to hone that in.
Yeah, keep at it. So
for playing and touring and shows, Who are some of the bands that you guys have played with so far, and who
Oh
are some
man.
of the bands that you hope to still be able to play with?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, we mentioned, we talked about Skeleton Witch earlier. We played with them a couple times. We played with Toxic Holocaust a couple times. Friends and Goat Whore. Uh, we did a tour, a few dates of a tour last year, and then played a one-off earlier this year with Profanatica. That was cool. We played Decibel Metal and Beer Fest a few years back. We played with Mayhem and Carcass. That
That's
was a big,
sick.
yeah, that was a big moment. It's just cool to play with bands like that are kind of legendary that
For
you
sure.
grew up learning about and listening to, stuff like that. There's a lot more. I'd have to sit and think for a while, but off the top of my head, those are some of the cooler, bigger ones that we've played with. We played with Venom Inc. a few years ago. Vader, it's cool stuff.
Damn, Vader would be sweet.
I know it's gnarly.
Yeah, yeah. As far as bands that we'd really like to play with, uh, Satyricon, Aura Noir, Triptychon, maybe. A lot of European bands.
Yeah, yeah. They don't really tour over here that much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a
Oh,
far stretch. But have you guys done any overseas touring yet, or no?
not yet. We've talked back and forth a little bit. It's something that we hope to do, eventually. But the opportunity, like the offer, will have to be right
Yeah.
for it to make sense.
For sure.
How was the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest? Because I've seen videos of it.
Yeah.
I think Frozen Soul played there last year, and
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've seen videos. I've seen lots of stuff on Instagram, and it looks awesome. But I haven't been to it. But how was
Yeah,
playing it?
it was great. Just to play with, it's cool because it's split into a few days, and it's not that many bands, so it's
Mm.
like you're playing on a bill. Like a lot of people will be like, oh, like I played with what, like Mayhem or whatever, but it's on a 40 band festival or something. But it's like we're playing on a day with like Mayhem and five other bands. That's pretty cool. I like that that's smaller. I don't really like the huge like outdoor mega festivals, just personally. They're fun to play, but I don't like going to them. But yeah, the Metal and Beer Fest was a good experience. It was a few years ago now. It was 2018, I think. So it was off of Grave Alchemist that you mentioned earlier.
Oh, okay.
We were doing dates off of that, and got invited to play.
Yeah, that's sick. I
Yeah,
agree with you on the the big fest thing. Like
yeah,
maybe like 3,000 people. It's about as many as I like to be around, as
right.
far as like
Yeah,
the top, and then
yeah,
and then smaller. But that's
yeah,
just me.
So it's not so much the people. It's like everything, like the rushing back and forth to try to catch one band on one stage
yeah,
and another band on
yeah,
another stage. And then you
yeah,
got like a main stage over here, and everybody's tearing down while one's playing and the others are setting up, and it's very
yeah,
hectic. And sometimes you got to miss a band instead of watching them. And
yeah.
then they're like on
So
a time slot where they're like, we got half an hour to play. We can't really fuck around in between there, so like the shows
yeah,
themselves may not be all that exciting. Um,
right. So funny story related to that. Last year, last September, we played RPM Fest uh, up in Massachusetts, which is a cool fest. Was a great time. I would love to do it again. And there were a lot of cool bands, but the schedule is so tight. And again, it's a multi-stage type thing. So we started playing our set like right when we were supposed to go, but the other band set had literally just ended like right when we started. And so the first like 6 minutes of our set we're playing to almost no one, just like this giant, it was like covered, but it was outdoors. So it's like, oh, we're playing the first song and a half to like three people. It's like, oh, this is the weirdest, I hate
Yeah.
hate this feeling. It's like I know people are coming, but it's like, oh,
And then you just have
but
to wait till they fucking
Yeah.
Just
migrate
trickle
over.
in down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never.
So like by
never
the end
seen
of the
that.
second song, it was packed out, but it's
Uh,
just like, oh man, I should have put a really shitty song first
Yeah.
yeah,
since
right,
everyone missed
right.
it.
Just delayed, like just ring out
Or the
one
one you
long
don't wanna
guitar
play.
riff. Like,
Yeah.
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 That's the situation where you want the long
Intro?
atmospheric intro.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
That would make sense. But yeah, well, like when I was at Mayhem Festival, this was 2013, I think, was
shit.
when I went. And it was like the two side stages were awesome. Like Behemoth would be on one stage, and then you'd have like Children of Bodom. Then there'd be Job for a Cowboy, then there'd be Machine Head. And they were close enough to where you could kind of just intermingle between the two. But then the other one where like the main bands play, it was like Amon Amarth, Mastodon, and some other people. Like you had to go like way the fuck over this way to get there. And then meanwhile you're crowding through 11,000 other people to like get there. So like it's a really slow drag to get there.
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of the bigger, if not the biggest festival that I've been to. And fun, but I don't know that I would do it again because it's like it's a long, long day.
Yeah.
And I remember one band, Blood Hunter, I think, that chick singer. They were playing while everybody was still in line to get in the venue, and I was like, "Oh man,
that
sucks." It was like 11 or 12, like early afternoon. And I was like, damn, that poor band probably was so excited to play. And then
and then they had to play to no one.
There was like 3 people. The security guards are like, oh, cool set, dude. Like,
I think it just depends on who sets it up and where it's at, you know?
This was at Pine Knob.
Yeah. That's fucking huge, man. Like you're saying.
Pine Knob's pretty big.
Yeah, the biggest I've ever been is like tied down 3,000 people maybe.
Mm.
And that's just a one stage, 2 day.
So you guys' record label, Terminus Hate, is that a self-made record label or is it an actual label? I didn't dig into it before we started.
They're a label. They're based down in Atlanta. It's pretty small. I want to say there's maybe a dozen bands.
Okay.
But like we've been on bigger labels before.
Prosthetic, I think.
Yeah. Prosthetic. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. But as far as Terminus has been, they put out this record and they put out our EP that we did in 2023, and no real complaints about them at this point. Super easy to work with. Feel like they listen to their artists and very communicative, and they are in Atlanta, but it's cool to be that's a few hours from us, but it's cool to be able to go meet with your label person face to face,
rather than
much more easily because
you never see.
Right. Prosthetic, we were on Prosthetic for like 4 years and never met anyone in person from that label. They're West Coast based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a little weird, like having it's easier to communicate in person than it is through email sometimes, especially if it's like nuanced stuff or whatever. But
for sure, or like you need permission for something and then you have to wait for
the
email. Yeah, that'd be kind of odd.
Plus, I feel like a label more like Terminus would be, since they don't have the huge roster that Prosthetic has, like they're going to be more caring to like any of your concerns or needs or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. And that's after we left Prosthetic, we were pretty intentional with wanting to find someone that could make us a priority, basically, because a lot of the labels where they're these huge rosters or whatever, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle of something like that.
Yeah. Where you go to ask them a question and they're like, "Who the hell are you again?" Like, you are on our label. Let me check this. Hang on.
I've heard horror stories about certain labels being kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to nerd out, and I know Ryan does too, and read about shit like that where
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Eat World's a famous band for that happening too. Like they signed to this major label, one hit wonder, buried. Like couldn't even get their album out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Shit like that. It's crazy, dude. So
Yeah.
you gotta really be careful.
Yeah, and they probably
Right.
don't own any of their music either.
Yeah, like in
Right.
that instance, right? I mean that's obviously 20 years ago, but
Yeah.
still.
But in you guys' case, like I'm sure, I don't know what your label situation is like, and I'm not going to get into too personal details, but I'm sure if you want to distribute your music your way, you're able to. Like, or if you're like, hey,
Yeah. It's
I'm going to let this guy use a song on his show or something, like it's doable.
Yes.
Not like you got to go through all
Yeah.
this litigation and.
Well, I can say this. Okay, I'm on terminushatecity.com. And you can get the All Hell Sunsetter fucking pack that comes with sunglasses, a bandana, CD, cassette, and a record for $90. That is a hell of a deal.
Damn, there's sunglasses?
some cool stuff.
Dude, there's
There's
sunglasses.
That's cool.
those weren't
Sunsetter.
even my idea, but when the label like pitched it to us, I was like, yeah,
No, it
we
makes
got to
sense,
do it.
dude. Sunsetter, dude.
Sunsetter sunglasses,
Perfect.
you have to.
So, yeah.
It makes more sense than August Burns' red flip flops.
There you go.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing flip flops anytime soon. So if anybody was waiting for those,
Be waiting a minute.
not going to happen.
They're like, damn it, I bought these sunglasses with the anticipation
tight.
of getting flip flops, and now
Yeah, no.
your dreams just got crushed on the podcast.
Yeah, the bandana has the cover on it. Looks sick.
So as far as physical media goes, you guys released this on tape, vinyl, and CD.
Yeah.
Prior to this, were you making records, tapes, and CDs, or were you kind of just sticking to one format over another?
We've always done it kind of as much as we can. The EP that we did on Terminus, we didn't do vinyl of just because it's an awkward length. It was too long for a 7-inch and not long enough to be an LP. So we would have had to press it as a 10-inch.
Everybody says
tough.
that.
They notoriously do not do well. And from what I've
Exactly.
heard when we've talked to other people that have run into this issue is they're not cost effective because it costs
Right.
about the
It's
same
the
to
same.
make a 12-inch, and then it sells at like a fraction of the rate.
Yeah, and so we didn't, we didn't want to charge that much for a vinyl or for an LP and have them be like, oh shit, this is like 18 minutes. What are we?
Right.
So we didn't do vinyl for that one, but we did for the second, third, and fourth album. There's vinyl and CD of those, and then the EP there's cassette and CD, and the new one has everything.
I've noticed lately a lot of things have been doing all three again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
I think that's smart though, because there's obviously a lot of vinyl collectors. There's a lot of tape collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of CDs, and all of them fit their own niche. But then there's like certain people that are like, I need all three.
Oh, yeah, the trifecta, dude.
Yeah, and sometimes like I've seen this happen where there's like just vinyl and tapes, and people are like, "Where's the CD? Like you guys aren't doing a CD? Like you're fucking me up here. Where's the damn CD?"
Yeah, it's
like
so weird.
Yeah, I think CDs are kind of coming back too. Just like
definitely.
Vinyl came back, and tapes more of as a collector's item, I guess, as far as tapes go. But CDs are on the come up. It's like it happens to me sometimes. Like I'll listen to a lot of stuff streaming or whatever, Spotify, but then I'll get in the car and have a CD of like something that I like, and I put it in, and I'm like, wow, this sounds so much better.
Oh, I know, it's insane.
Than Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah, the difference between like the compressed and uncompressed audio between Spotify and Apple Music's a lot better for it. Like that's what I use. Like they have a lot of uncompressed stuff, but then there's a lot of shit that's still like compressed MP3s that you just can't do anything with. But there's nothing like having like CDs like fully lossless. And I can say like at the store, we sell more tapes and vinyl than we do CDs currently.
Right.
Which is weird because like for a while tapes were kind of just like nobody really touched them. Like they were like a novelty. Like if you put $1 on it, somebody might buy it.
Yeah.
But now, like, we've had tapes that were like 40 or $50 that we've sold,
Right.
and I'm like, holy shit! Like, people are like really collecting these things.
When nobody would touch that Bathory tape forever, it just sat there. I was like, Oop.
Yeah,
And then,
I think we sold it to you for $20, but it was a $100 tape.
it
But
just sat
Yeah.
there.
what happened with that was there was some guy that wanted to buy it that I didn't want to have it,
Yep,
and
so
I
we
was
pulled
like, nah, fuck you.
Yep.
I'll sell it to Jeremy.
Pulled a high fidelity.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
point being, though, like, if you put that out there now, it'd be like, well, I guess
Yeah,
you gotta take the right person, but, you know, or online or whatever, it'd be fucking gone, dude.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
the tape hype wasn't there a few years ago like it is now.
And I'm keeping that motherfucker.
I would imagine you would. It was Combat Records.
No, yeah, it's like legit, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Awesome.
legit. Not for
Do you
sale.
yourself collect tapes, records, CDs, or anything?
I have. I mean, I'm not like an avid collector of any of those things, but I do have a collection of all of those things. It's
Right,
not,
right.
you know, it's not like crazy. Like I don't have 1,000 LPs sitting around or like 600 tapes or anything, but
Right.
I do have some. Actually, last year when I don't know if you guys know much about like the hurricane and like the flooding and stuff that happened
Yep.
over here
Yeah.
Yeah.
last year. Yeah, I lost a bunch of LPs to that, which sucks. But thankfully, it was like none of our test presses, none of like my like really sentimental stuff. But it still sucked to lose like a bunch of vinyl. I mean, the LPs themselves are probably fine, but like all the paper goods are toast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. But yeah, I've got a decent amount of vinyl and tapes, CDs too.
Yeah, I've been buying more CDs lately than anything, really. I have a good mix of both. I have, I don't know, 1,200 records or so. Jeremy has probably double that. And,
Yeah.
But I do remember the hurricane because like I said before we started, my sister lives down there and she didn't have power for like 9 days. And last year, though, we had we'll call it a black metal storm here. Like we had an ice storm, like where
knocked all
our
the
whole
power out.
city didn't have power for like, I don't know, what was it, like 4 days or something?
Well,
Oh wow.
okay, this was what was fucked. I didn't have power for 2 days or 3 days, which is like really good. And then my neighbor literally across the street, 10 days, no power.
Yeah, because
Like that's how how crazy it was.
The power
set up.
grid's strange, but
Yeah.
everything like froze over. Like it was raining during the day, then got so cold at night that it would freeze. So like everything looked like if like Immortal wanted to come here and take their next album cover picture, it would have been like the perfect scenario for
You could have
it.
shot a video.
It was all frozen over. It was cool looking.
Well, people are freaking out.
But then, like, it was also kind of freaky because they were calling it like Category 5 damage and shit. And like, we don't have. We have very small tornadoes in Michigan or northeastern Michigan. We've been having more lately than we ever really have, but we don't really get storms like that or anything. We get snowstorms and shit, but that was the first time I've ever seen like a full blackout, like ice storm type of thing. It was weird. It was wild.
Yeah, about eight or 9 years ago, we were down in South Carolina and we played a gig with 1349 from Norway.
Yeah, they're sick.
In a snowstorm in South Carolina. And like it doesn't snow in South Carolina, so when it snows even a little bit, no one goes anywhere. Yeah. So we played with 1349 to like 15 people. It was pretty sick.
God, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't play like they were playing to 15 people though, which is awesome.
Right.
You know,
they played like they
did
played.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they have a huge discography. Damn.
I always appreciate that in a band when they do that instead of being like, nah, fuck this, I'm leaving. Like,
yeah.
I ain't playing to these.
Or like play
people.
like a short set with no energy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, like 15 people, 1,500. Like, give those fucking people what they came there for. Like,
yeah,
they want to see you, and clearly those people from South Carolina.
Well, those 15 people got to see something nobody else has ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You know?
And they toughed out their fucking quarter inch of snow that they probably had to make it there. Like,
yep.
For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I know like the whole like everything shuts down when it snows down that way. Like
Yeah,
I know people that live Florida, Texas, like
right. Yeah,
Georgia, and they're like, yeah, we get a half inch of snow, everything's closed. And I'm like,
yeah.
holy shit.
Right here where we're at, where all hell's at, is not so bad for that because we're in the mountains, so we do get a bit more snow
Okay.
than like the lower parts of the state, or definitely South Carolina. Like everyone here kind of knows how to drive in the snow and everything, but you go an hour south and all sense goes out the window.
Yeah, it's fun to watch that shit on on the news when there is like Atlanta, Georgia gets a half inch of snow,
Oh
town
yeah,
shuts down, and everybody's like fishtailing, like what?
yeah,
Well, I mean,
But it's
yeah.
just how you learn how to
people
drive,
still do it here. Every
It's just
time it
funny.
snows, everybody forgets how to
Oh
drive.
yeah,
And
it
I'm
takes
like,
like a
dude,
week for everybody
we're in Michigan. You should know by now.
to get adjusted.
But before we got ranting about the weather, I was going to ask, out of records, tapes, and CDs, do you have a preferred format just for listening purposes? I know you said you're not a big collector, but something that you prefer the sound of on the playback.
Uh, it's tough to say. I mean, vinyl's always nice. It has its own sound. So if I'm really just trying to enjoy something, probably vinyl, but it's hard to beat CDs for convenience and fidelity, I guess.
Mm.
So I don't know. That's not a real answer, but
A lot of people aren't
it
willing to have
depends.
that conversation, though, the whole vinyl and CD thing, because everybody has that, well, it's vinyl, it's got to sound better. I'm like,
Or
not
yeah, it's
necessarily. Like,
not necessarily.
Right.
there's a
It
million
has
and
its
one
own it has its own
variables.
sound.
Yeah. Now, when you were doing mastering, do you have to do a separate master for vinyl, or is it all the same CD tape vinyl?
Typically, yeah, it'll be one for vinyl and then one for everything else.
Okay. What's
Just
different about the vinyl? It just has it has like a certain limitation and bit rate that it can go to, right?
right, and some of it has to do with like bass frequencies, and like it's a whole thing. Like bass frequencies, and then also like you have to be cognizant of like, or just like laying out the record for vinyl is different because like you want to have it in mind because like more dynamic stuff you kind of want to have towards the start of a side because you lose dynamics the further towards the middle you get.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole complicated thing. But yeah, that's why a lot of times there will be a separate master for vinyl as opposed to
It's like
everything
it's
else.
almost like completely different, like physics, if you will,
Yeah,
for mastering a record over digital.
Well, because when you're cutting,
It makes sense.
when you're putting something onto a CD, like what reads in there is like hairline tiny. A record is very small as well, but bass frequencies take up a lot of space on an album. So like
right.
if you got an album that's like real bass heavy, and you can fit 24 minutes per side of a 12-inch record, and if it's got that much bass crammed into it, you might be limited down to 18 minutes, 12 minutes,
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
because of how
Yeah.
much
I
room
was
it
gonna
has to
say
expand
if
out.
it's really, yeah, like 24 minutes is pushing it
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have
for
to
vinyl
really compress it.
typically.
Yeah.
So if it's bass heavy, yeah, like you're saying, like it's going to be a lot less if you want it to have full like fidelity and everything.
So you guys' album, I
Interesting.
didn't look yet. I will when I go to buy it. Is it a double record or is it just a single LP?
It's a single. It's a short record. I
I figured it
think it's
was.
yeah, it's
37?
about 32 minutes
32?
or so. Yeah.
Something
It's
else I was looking
32.
at was
I was
37.
looking at it right now. Yeah, 32 minutes. You could fit that 16-ish, 17
Yeah.
aside. Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah, which we purposefully wanted to aim for an album about that length. The last two LPs we did were longer, and I wanted to do an album again that was closer to the length of the second album because I feel like that like 30 to 32 minute range. A lot of times it ends and you just go again.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
so I don't know. I wanted it to be like short and sweet, I guess.
I
It
mean,
definitely works
some
as far
people
as
like
with the opener like that.
yeah, some
Yeah.
people don't listen for. It's hard to capture 40 minutes of attention.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Even 40, and even harder to do. Some bands will have 70-minute records, and
yeah,
the amount of 70-minute records I can listen to and enjoy is very small. I mean, they do exist, but it's so hard to write that much good music.
yeah. And if there's 20 minutes of filler, then you're
Yeah.
gonna kind of. But it goes like that's the same with music. It's the same with podcasting. It's the same with like
Yeah.
TV shows. Everything. Like people are like they want 15, 20 minutes. I've seen this a lot in metal. I've seen it in hip hop. I've seen it in all genres where like EPs that are 15 to 25 minutes or short albums that are 15 to 25 minutes get consumed at a lot higher rate than what a 40-minute record would.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like how it started out where you had singles were at the top and then the LP took over and then like kind of just the way
Yeah.
people consume things, it just keeps changing,
Yeah, it does change. And I've always been more of like an albums guy, like more of an album guy than a singles guy. That's why all of our records are
too.
That's why all of our records are concept albums, basically. And maybe that'll change in the future, but I don't necessarily see it happening for us.
Well, I see, like, I'm sure that's, like, in writing, it's a lot, I would find it anyway, easier to have a couple of topics to focus on to make a cohesive album than, like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw 10 things together. I don't know,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, with the singles era, a lot of times what happened was they'd be like, okay, we got the radio song. Now, contractually, we need you to add 9 more
all these other
fucking
things.
random songs. Like,
Yeah.
we don't care if one's a DJ remix or whatever. Just make it enough to sell as a whole album, but we're really only going to push this single.
Yeah.
But like Jeremy and I are both like, we like to start an album start to finish. Like when I find a new band, I'll go back to their first record. I'll start that record beginning to end. And if it's an artist that I really like, I'll listen through their whole discography. I might not do it in one sitting or anything, but like I'll get to that point where I hear everything. Like, because you never know, like some bands could start off sounding like this and then end up in a totally different direction, or maybe they started off bad and then they got good later, or vice versa. It all depends. So I like to hear all the in between, and like I don't want to hear the same exact album over and over and over again every time. I mean, sure, you'll have your sound and you'll have kind of like where you fit and what you're aiming to be as a band, but grow a little as an artist rather than like AC/DC is a good example, like made the same song and same album like 100 times over. And clearly it worked because they sold a shitload of albums, but it gets kind of exhausting to listen to the same thing every single time.
I always like finding like the like, I guess it'd be hidden, but like you're saying, when you like force yourself to listen to the whole album, and then you're like talking about it with somebody, and then they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you didn't listen to the 7th track?
Yeah.
Oh, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they're like, "You did, dork?"
Yeah, and it's like, right, but it's like from your point of view, it's like you spent the same amount of time on that track as you did the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd. Like, deserves the same amount of respect at least for that first listen. Then you can be like, it's shit, or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, usually if I'm gonna call something shit, I listened to it to know why I'm calling it shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I at least
it's
gave
not
it a
it's not
chance.
just because it didn't immediately grab your attention.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't just go, well, that guy said it was, so I'm gonna say it.
But
is.
that's I love that about like listening to a whole album, because they put it on there for a reason. Usually.
There's circumstances where there wasn't, for sure. But before we start getting to the end and wrapping things up here, one question I was going to ask earlier, but I didn't get the chance to. What are some of the artists that influenced you to start making music?
That's a good question. There's a lot. Big ones for me are all of Glenn Danzig's projects. So Misfits, Samhain, Danzig, big ones. I mean, it may not be the most evident in our sound, but definitely a big inspiration.
Yeah. I see you're wearing a Danzig hoodie
for
right
sure.
now.
Yeah. A lot of I guess what people call first wave black metal. So Celtic Frost, Bathory, that type stuff. It's a big influence for us. And newer black metal, not that much newer, but bands like Satyricon, Dark Throne, like second wave black metal bands are an inspiration. Or Noir, some thrashier stuff like Toxic Holocaust, Skeleton Witch, like you mentioned earlier. Those are all pretty big ones.
So for newer black metal, there's not as many good bands out there, but just to pitch a few, like Stormkeep is really good. Lamp of Murmur, One of Nine. I don't know if you've listened to any of these bands, but some of the other stuff that you've mentioned, like if you're into that, you would appreciate these bands.
Right. Yeah.
We actually tried to interview One of Nine at one point, but they were like, "We don't do interviews. We're too ominous." And I was like, all right, dude, you're not that cool, but all right, whatever. Like, I'll call you by your stage name if I have to, and you can come in corpse paint if you want to. I don't care. But Stormkeep, like, they're like members of like Blood Incantation and stuff. If you've listened to Blood Incantation,
I think I listened to something from Stormkeep a couple years ago.
Yeah. So for black metal, are you more of a lo-fi person, or do you prefer more of the kind of polished stuff, like more like Immortal? Not that it's polished, but it's not quite as lo-fi.
I do love Immortal. Probably my favorite black metal band, actually.
See, At the Heart of Winter is like
not as huge of
perfect record.
Not as huge of an influence on All Hell, I would say, but in subtle ways, maybe. But yeah. But I like, it just depends on the band or even the album. I don't necessarily
have a preference.
Have a preference of like raw over polished. I think some things sound bad when they're too produced. Yeah. And then some things where it's like, oh, you're sounding like shit just to sound like shit. Like, it's 2025. You don't have to, pretend like you're recording Philosophum. It's not, you're just doing it because it's a thing, Yeah,
because there are some people out there that are like the purists, quote unquote, that are like, if it's not done on a fucking 8-track tape recorder in the basement inside of a metal bucket, like, then it ain't.
Which is stupid. Metal. Because a lot of that stuff was done because that's what they had.
Right.
Like you have access to better sounding things now. You don't. I don't know. It just feels disingenuous to like rip off these old bands and like try and sound like shitty on purpose.
Yeah, you're just trying to replicate it because that's what it was at the time.
Like, you're trying to sound like you have less than what you do, maybe. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's important to like the aesthetic, like the sonic aesthetics of the band, like I get it, but I feel like a lot of times it's just a gimmick.
Yeah, for sure. Like 9 out of 10 times it's on some bullshit.
Yeah, usually it's the guys thinking that they're more evil and dark than they
are. Right.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, Mom, shut up. I'm recording my fucking demo in the basement right now. Like, I can't have you on the album.
Mom, I told you to leave the phone off the hook.
Yeah.
Funny.
So before I get to the ending question that we always ask everybody here, is there anything you want to say, plug, as far as social media goes or anything like that? I will have all of All Hell's stuff in the episode description, so anybody listening, you can get to their Instagram straight from there. Check out the record if you haven't already.
Yeah, just thank you guys for having me. allhell.bandcamp.com. You should be able to get the new record, and we're going to be putting we get a lot of questions about merch online, and our merch store has been pretty wiped out for a while, but here in the next week or two, I'm going to be putting up a bunch of new stuff, a new shirt design and such that people haven't had a chance to get yet. And then we're gonna have some more designs coming out. But yeah, as far as the record, you can go there, and that either links to the label website and everything. There's bundles for everything. There's a lot of cool vinyl variants. I think there's 3 different ones, and yeah, there's a cool little booklet, I think, that if you get through the label, they're gonna send out. It's got like lyrics and lore and some extra artwork from the new record.
Yeah, I love that nerdy shit.
Yeah, so yeah, I was stoked to do that. But yeah, that, and then our Instagram is at All Hell Band, and we post all of our shows and tour dates and everything on there. We're a lot more active on there than we are on Facebook or anything. So yeah, Bandcamp for merch, Instagram for updates, I would say.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Well,
and like I said, we'll have all that in the episode description, and you can't see it, but when you see this, your Instagram name's been right underneath you the whole time.
Right on.
Now, before we wrap things up, I'm curious to hear this. So we always ask people at the end of our episodes this same question, but outside of what you play in All Hell, what is something that you listen to that people would not expect?
Well, we can go two layers deep on this. I got some stuff that I can say, aren't metal, but wouldn't be that surprising, and then we can go a little bit more surprising.
All right, go.
So
start with the less
level
surprising.
1.
Yeah.
Level 1. Yeah. Myself and all the guys in All Hell listen to a lot of soundtracks, horror soundtracks, but like it doesn't have to be horror. We're inspired by cinematic sounding things, which you can hear a little bit on parts of the new record. We also like a lot of post-punk and kind of gothy stuff like that. It's a band called Twin Tribes I like a lot. We're all big Sisters of Mercy fans. But then, extra surprising, I'll give you guys a deep cut. I'm a big fan of a 90s Spanish pop artist called Tino Casal. And you probably haven't heard of him, but
nope.
Rather than look him up on Spotify or anything, just watch some of his videos on YouTube, and I think you'll enjoy him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Definitely an entertaining character.
So,
okay.
I know we're fans of everything you said except for that last one because we don't know who the hell he is.
How do you spell Casal?
Casal.
Yeah. Okay, I wrote it.
Watch the video for the song Eloise.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the type of shit that I like to hear.
Yeah.
That thing, because the Sisters of Mercy thing, totally get it. Great band.
Yeah.
Obviously. Horror soundtracks, it's pretty given. But, one of the last guys we just interviewed, he was like, I like Taylor Swift. And I was like, oh, shit. That's why we asked this question.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right, man. We'll let you get going.
Level 2, man.
And,
level 2.
That was level 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was level 2.
Tino Casal was level 2.
I thought we were going a little deeper.
No.
You said Taylor Swift. I thought you made him nervous.
No.
He's like, I got the life of a showgirl right next to me.
I haven't listened to that one yet, actually. We'll
apparently not many people have, because
I still got
copies sitting at the store of it, and normally we're sold out.
Yeah.
But all right, man, we'll let you get going. We really appreciate you taking the time to come here and talk with us. And
thank you guys.
Thanks
for
touch
asking
with you.
Good questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we like to keep the stuff about the music.
Yeah.
We're genuine fans, so we're genuinely curious about what goes on with the music. But I'll be in touch with you on Instagram when we get closer to putting this out. I'll invite you guys on as a collaborator and all that sort of thing for one of the reels that I cut up. And then, hopefully you guys play a Michigan show at some point. We'll try to catch you if we're able to. And
right on.
Love the new record, and congrats on the release and everything. And thanks again.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
It was a pleasure,
Sounds
man.
good.
Thank you.